we're counting on every organization, every business to have good security practices. But the reality of that is most of them don't. So as you're looking at this right now, chances are your information is already out there. And the next question for you should be, how can you redact it or prevent anything else from ending up in the dark web?
Hi, I'm Scott Campbell with the Global Technology Industry Association, and we are here at Zero Trust World in sunny Orlando talking about all things cybersecurity. And I am pleased to have my first guest here for GTIA on location, Collin Ellis, Senior Solutions Engineer at ThreatLocker. Collin, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, my friend. It's a pleasure.
So, my first question to you is, what do you hope attendees, IT service providers, MSPs, what do you want them to hear? What do you want them to walk away with here at Zero Trust World?
Yeah, the biggest personal goal for myself is to help everyone involved with the messaging as to why, not just ThreatLocker, why security, and not the traditional kind of positioning on tools, tech, and attempting to sell things, right? There's a lot more context to the security culture that we're building, and the why becomes so important for that.
You know, and that's a really interesting point, because the why security, we did a Channel Trends in Cybersecurity research report recently, and only about a third, in fact, I think it was a little less than a third of IT service providers consider security a core capability.
Right.
So there's a lot of people out there who aren't taking security seriously, or at least they don't consider it a core capability. Is that concerning to you, and is that one of the things that you guys are trying to get across to attendees here?
Definitely, and from my personal perspective, the culture piece and the importance of it, it doesn't just start at work, it doesn't just start at the office, it's at home, it's at school, and especially as we get into some of even the dark web topics later on, the idea that your information is already out there, right, and if it's not out there yet, it's just a click away from getting to that point. So the importance of security, and every organization is going to have a little bit of politics, right? But it's an agreement that we all have to come towards, that it's really important.
Perfect. And okay, so that's what you want attendees to kind of see, hear, learn.
Mm-hmm.
What are you hoping to see, hear, learn while you're here this week?
I'm a nerd to the core, so the hacking labs, the educational bit of ZTW is what I'm really looking forward to. Right now, there's a couple of hacking labs going on, and as the next step for tomorrow, you typically see the maturity, the people that can come in, get the bits and pieces a little bit quicker, and then take that to the next step on their own, and I'm trying to get better at it myself.
All right, that's very cool. So one of the sessions, I think you're speaking twice here, right?
Yeah.
And one of the sessions that I found really interesting was Unmasking the Dark Web. Mm-hmm. Can you talk a little bit about what you're going to be talking about in that session, and how that relates to the IT service provider?
Yeah, and it's going to go back to, again, the importance of the why, especially for the IT service providers out there. Their challenge is really difficult in spreading why security is important. And traditionally, it's security awareness training, it's the simple clicks, those simple modules that we kind of push to the end users, and it's not enough. Right, we have to bring the end users, the people that drive the business, into the real world and show them what we're actually fighting against. Yep. And unmasking the dark web. Beyond just kind of showing them the malicious things out there, you get to see what it's really like, right? How easy it is for your information to just be on any drop site and you end up being a target.
All right, so let me ask you, the dark web, obviously a big mysterious place and all that. Mm-hmm. What's one thing that you think IT service providers might be surprised at about the dark web?
How many of their current employees, how many of their current staff have their data out there and they just have no idea.
Right.
And it goes beyond just the immediate workforce. So personally, I like to think my security posture is very strong. But the weakest points in my personal security posture are my most immediate family, my mom, my younger brothers, my siblings, etc. And if their posture isn't as strong as it's supposed to be, it's the easiest way to break into myself, my identity, my personal posture that way.
All right, that's interesting. So your weakest point is also means you don't really have a strongest point. Almost.
Exactly.
That's interesting. All right, what advice do you have for IT service providers about navigating around the dark web and figuring out like what to talk to their customers about?
That's going to be a really good question, and it's a part of my presentation today. And the advice, again, it's just facing reality. But let me kind of consolidate that a little bit more. For IT service providers, the value they bring as a technical organization is immense. And the picture that I don't think they paint really well is that the people they're fighting against are aligned and they run and operate like true IT service providers as well, but they're just malicious, right? So these are organized businesses that are operating just like ITSPs, but from a malicious nature. So your lead engineers, your developers, your programmers, at the end of the day, that's all hackers are, and they're just on the other side of the fence. So once ITSPs can kind of position themselves, their own value in this way, showing a dark web listing for hackers for hire opens the door to that. It's even going to break down how cost effective their security actually is.
Unmasking the dark web.
Right.
Look forward to that session today. One last question is, can you talk a little bit about community? Obviously, GTIA and ThreatLocker have a great partnership, and we are both really about community, right? I mean, there's like hundreds, if not thousands, of our closest friends here this week. Can you talk a little bit about why community is so important to ThreatLocker and bringing these guys together and hearing what they're saying and letting them listen to you?
And that's going to be the most crucial step for us, especially in the security space. The way we share information, share data, it's pivotal. And if we're not doing that, the bad actors will always be one step ahead. So as a good example, when I get started with my presentation today, giving kudos to the people involved is where we start, because without that, the information sharing just won't ever happen. Right? Every EDR, every threat hunter, threat detector, how we kind of abide by things like the MITRE ATT&CK framework, all of that stems from these examples of community. And if it's not there, we have no standards to follow, and everyone is walking astray. Right? So the community piece of what we do is so pivotal, because without it, there'd be no ThreatLocker, ultimately.
Perfect. All right, Collin Ellis, thank you very much. I hope you have a
pleasure, my
great
friend.
session, great event. Again, I'm Scott Campbell for GTIA On Location, and stay tuned for more videos coming soon on our Zero Trust World playlist on our YouTube channel. Thank you very much.